and stream just because I can and I don't do it that often. And just unbox this Autel Evo 2 Pro Enterprise and kind of talk a little bit about first glance and what it's about. It is going to be a little bit different. I should go grab my Autel. Here, hold on a second. Let me grab that. One moment. All right, here we go. Okay, so I wasn't completely prepared as normal. This is standard Evo 2 Pro 6K version 1. No Enterprise, no carbon legs or arms or whatever you want to call them. Little firehouse strobe on top. Gets the job done, workhorse. But we have this guy. Oh my goodness, kind of heavy actually. Oh shit, okay. So we have this guy. We have a new Autel box. It was supposed to be delivered on Saturday. They needed a signature and I was doing an art show, so I missed it and they sent it to a drop-off location. So we got this little knife and we will open it. I bought it at Advexture, which is a really cool drone shop if you guys have never used them. Oh my god, it's pretty heavy. Crap. Probably feels like it's 50 pounds or something. So here, let me sit down with it in my lap. We'll go ahead and break the seal. Not cut my eye out. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm not using a mic. But it's a kind of echoey room. And let's see. There we go. So this is definitely a whole, can't see, help. I'm getting eaten by the box. This is a lot different than, say, a DJI Mavic 3 Cine that you spend almost $6 grand on. So you got like a hard case in there, you can see, way more rugged. Let me go ahead and stand up. Okay. So pull this guy out. Bam. Damn, this thing's pretty heavy. Which again is a good feel because you know you're getting substantial real life product when you have something heavy, usually. So this is what it looks like. I did not get the smart controller. You can kind of like hide behind the box. So I didn't get the smart controller. This is a version 2 Evo 2 Pro 6K. Has stronger arms, carbon arms, stronger motors. Supposedly it should give you a little bit more time in the air, roughly 5 minutes. But it does come at a little higher price point. And the thing is, I had them send the standard remote because I didn't want the smart controller. It kept the cost down a little bit. Advexture was really great like that. They customized the package or the bundle, so that's cool that they do that, or they're able to do that. But I will open this guy up. And they probably had to open it up to swap out the controller. Oh my goodness. So let me, it's like giving birth. Hold on a second. Oh, this is upside down, but regardless. Here, hold on a second. Boom. Boom. Get the case out. And that's that. So, definitely not the DJI hipster bag. You you get a proper hard case, which could be maybe pros and cons. You got a lot more to carry around. But let me get this guy back over in. So set that guy aside. And now we go to open it and see. So there's a little seal on here. I guess you have to cut this off. I don't know why this little tag is on here, this little guy, but I don't think I can just pull it out. Looks like it needs to be cut. Boom, boom, and lo and behold, definitely a hard case. Boom. So you can see we have the drone, the accessories. So we have the little beacon light, the strobe, the speaker, which I don't know if I'll ever use, but could be kind of fun, even just to play little jokes on it. Comes with, I believe, 3 batteries. So here's 1, 2, and there should be 1 in the drone. We have the controller, which, for those who don't know, even the standard controller is version 1 and version 2. So this should be a version 2 standard controller because this is a version 2 Enterprise drone. So I gotta look and make sure, but Advexture said, of course, they're not gonna slack on that. They know if they're sending out an Enterprise drone, that they have to send out the appropriate remote. And then first look at this guy. Boom. Carbon fiber. It looks pretty slick. I'm gonna set this guy down because it's really heavy. And latch this back up. Nice, rugged, non-hipster bag feel. Okay. And I could sit back down. So we have this guy, which compared to this guy looks pretty much, you know, a little different, not too different. Carbon arms. So there's that. That's pretty cool. I mean, definitely a nice touch having carbon legs. It makes it look higher end. But we have the top area for the accessory mount. So this little guy snaps off, and then there's a port here that will plug in the accessories. But let's open it up and see. Boom, 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 boom. Motors look, I can't tell, they look pretty much identical, even though, here, let me take this little guy off for now. Hold on 1 second. Take the props off. Boom. And I'm kind of contemplating keeping this or possibly getting another Evo 2 Pro 6K, because in theory, for cinematography and more cinematic work, I really don't need the accessories. But at the same time, there may be a point or a job or a call where maybe I've looked for stuff before. People have lost animals that they hired me to do stuff for. So who knows? A thermal camera would be cool, but take this prop off too, just so it can see. Come on, little props. There we go. So this is a good look at the motors. You can see, so they're a little stronger motors on the Enterprise version. The legs are carbon. And really that's about it. You're gonna get Basically, it's a more efficient flying drone from what I was told by Autel. It's not necessarily going to be faster or handle winds better. It's not that kind of thing. It's just going to be a more efficient drone, hence giving you a little bit more flight time in the air. And it does come with 3 batteries. There were 2 in the case, and as I said, 1 in the drone. So basically between this drone and, let me see, this guy, the standard version, and say 11 batteries, you can essentially do any job, which is really cool to have backup. And maybe the only thing I don't really love is that this is a version 2, this is a version 1, my old school one. So this is the OG Evo 2 Pro 6K. This has been doing really well, making me money. So a lot of love with this guy. And I would imagine this would be essentially the same thing. But feels good. I mean, it's essentially not that big of a deal. It's the same type of drone. The only thing that I don't really dig is that version 2, version 1, I need to have a version 2 controller, even though it's a standard controller. If it was a smart controller, it'd be the same thing. You'd need the version 2 smart controller, which is obviously a lot more than this guy. And for my version 1, I need the other version 1 controller like this. So it'd be nice if you could just have the same models and have one remote and a backup remote, for example, but you can't. And that's just par for the course. Autel didn't really do that. You know, they weren't planning on having that happen, so that's just a supply issue. They had no choice but to go to the version 2 chipset, and really it is better than them having to discontinue the entire Evo product line. So we got to work with them, and it's been a rough year for basically everyone for the last year and a half. So I talked to them at length a little bit today, and they were explaining that, yeah, it's been not ideal for basically everyone, including them, and super confusing, because it is confusing. I honestly didn't know until today whether or not this controller was version 1 and version 2, and it is. So this is a version 2 controller. The great thing is with this, like I got my Mavic 3, it's a totally different drone, brand new on the market. Nobody's even ever really seen a Mavic 3 until recently. So this, at least I know, can get up in the air and basically, you know, start making money, and I could dial it in the same way as my other one, and life is good, you continue flying. And it looks nicer. It's like, say I have a higher end client, I bring this drone out, it looks a little slicker. Maybe I put the beacon on the top or something just for kicks, just to make it look a little bit more serious. But let me see, they should have a serial number on here. But anyway, I know there's something on the bottom with the serial number that will signify whether or not it's version 1 or version 2. But again, Advexture, super rock solid company. They would not send out a version 2 drone with a version 1 controller. They're way better than that. So if you do need a drone, even if you're pre-ordering a Nano or a Nano Plus or a Light Plus, that's where I pre-ordered all my stuff from. So I got a Nano Plus hopefully coming. I talked to Autel a little bit about that as well today. And of course, didn't have any date, but hopefully sooner than later it's going to happen. We just have to be patient and wait for them to, you know, have it finally come to production. So at least it should be solid when it comes, I hope. Let me see what you said. I saw a question regarding the Mavic 3 Cine. That's been the nightmare drone. Let me see. How do I find my stream on here? Oh, there we go. So let me see the comment section. Find my stream. Nope. Mute that. Okay. Bear with me 1 second. Live chat. Yeah, the cameras are identical. So really, you know, do you need to get this drone? If you're just wanting image quality, no, you don't. But if you want a little cooler looking drone and the carbon arms and a little bit more flight time may mean something, being a little bit more efficient with the way this is built, then why not? And you do have the accessories. So here, let me see. Hold on a second. Got so much cat hair on the floor. Okay. So we have the speaker. I'm surprised nobody's done any kind of comedy little thing. If you ever saw Ross Creations, his channel, he always does goofy stuff like remote control cars with horns and scaring golfers. It's pretty funny, but you'd think someone would have done something with this. But I think you just propped, yeah, I mean, this thing just literally kind of, little, wish it snapped in better, but I guess it doesn't need to. So this little guy right here, boom. I didn't even ever take this off, but it's just a little, like just press a teeny bit and it pops off. So no big deal. And then it exposes the port. And then the speaker just screws on. There's a little cover for the actual protect the port for the plug. And boom. Screw that guy down. And now you have that little guy. Play some tunes, cruise, listen to some Hawaiian music while you're cruising through Hawaii, getting some shots. But yeah, I mean, it's nice. I mean, if you ever get called on a search and rescue mission, I was talking to actually the owner of Firehouse Strobes, the company who actually makes these strobes on the top of the drone, which I highly recommend. Really, really nice guy. But he does a lot of search and rescue missions, and they actually fly. He was telling me he uses Mini 2 equipped with lights and also the DJI FPV. So he uses the DJI FPV to actually enter homes before the SWAT team goes in. So that's pretty cool, using a Mini 2 and a FPV to get in there and basically scope the house, making sure it's safe before SWAT team goes in and do their, and does their job. So, at least this kind of stuff has that purpose attached to it. I would love to get into that actually. That'd be kind of a cool sector of drone flying, in my opinion, for me. So there's that speaker. I don't even know how you use it. I have to figure that out. But really easy to put on the attachments. I mean, boom, done. Put the little cover on here to protect the plugs or the pins. Boom, covered back on. Goes right nicely into the case. And then we have accessory number 2, the little spotlight. So this guy, if you want to just go cruise, you're not going to be recording video with it. I mean, the remote I got, I actually didn't have them send the smart controller. I'm just using this controller for now because what I do, I don't really need, I'm not doing mapping or anything. So I personally want to fly more cinematically and just keep it consistent with my other controllers. So this is version 2 standard controller for the Evo 2 Pro Enterprise. So the little spotlight guy, again, if you're using this, you're not essentially going to be wanting to shoot video because it will get in the way. I don't know. I'm not sure how you use the speaker with it. I would imagine you have to control it somewhat through the app. I don't know where, but so this guy we can put on and see what it looks like. But it's nice that it is super easy to put these accessories on. Again, I don't know if I'll be using this much, but I mean, if you ever got a call, I mean, I know in Kentucky, for example, they had a lot of catastrophe stuff happening. It'd be great to go and help people out and search and rescue and help animals out, all kinds of cool stuff like that. I'd love to do good with my drone work. That'd be awesome. That's kind of what I would love to try to get into. So if anyone knows more about that, let me know. But it looks super badass, right? Like you pull that thing out, that looks slick. So that's that. Boom. Accessory number 2. We'll take this little guy off. And then the other one essentially is just a strobe, same kind of thing. It has a 3-mile reach light, similar to the Firehouse. So here, hold on a second, I'll grab it. Boom. That little guy. But it's nice that, yeah, it would be awesome, man. I'd love to help animals out with my drones, finding them. And so here, boom, let me see. I think it goes on, yeah, it doesn't go on like this, does it? Can't tell, hold on a second, I don't want to jam things up. I believe it goes on this way. It should. This is the way it looks like it seats. Boom. So now you got a nice little strobe happening. I don't know how you turn it on. I would imagine you turn it on through the actual app. So as you see, let's take the gimbal guard off this guy. Same 6K camera, 1-inch sensor that's on the standard model. Boom. It's just a little nicer. I mean, if I'm gonna spend, I don't know if it does actually, AB. But if you're gonna spend $2,095, it doesn't come with the RTK. That's an extra thing. I know a lot of people gripe about that. The RTK is an extra thing you gotta purchase, so it does not come with it. But to me, I mean, I have the stickers, pardon me, I have the stickers on it. Take those off when I know I'm gonna commit. But I think I'm gonna keep it. I don't think I'm gonna return it. It kind of crossed my mind a teeny bit just because, but if I were to buy another backup Evo 2 Pro regular one without the carbon arms and without the Enterprise, I would be at basically $2,100, and I was at $2,800 for this, so basically $700 more. You get, you know, you get the batteries, you get a bigger case. I don't know how the case is. Let me see. Hold on a second. I want to feel it and see how heavy it is. So case is this guy. It has a handle. So here, where are you? Release. Where are the release for this guy? Oh, here it is. So you got this kind of case with wheels, right? So that's that. If you need to wheel it somewhere. Or you carry it like this, or you carry it like this. And I would say it feels substantial, you know? I mean, it's not super heavy, collapse that guy. But if you're going on a job, this will look a lot more pro than your little kind of, I won't say anything bad, but that little hipster Mavic 3 bag. You just look kind of goofy. I'm not a big fan of that Mavic 3 bag, but it's a nice bag. But again, if you're on a job, you definitely want a hard case. And Lycus, I know, Lykus, they make a hard case for the Mavic 3 for you guys who have Mavic 3s out there. I'll probably get one for my Cine when it does come back. I'm still dealing with DJI. They're not going to take away one of my refreshes, and they're going to just give me a new drone, which is good because I don't have to get pinged with my refresh. But they're still supposedly taking their time extracting my... Yeah, I don't know. As I said, the Mavic 3 has been a little bit of a nightmare. I mean, I have like remnants. I got the Mavic 3 Cine charger. I think I have the little jock strap in my case over there, and that's kind of it. Yeah, if I was watching that Trent Palmer, the, you know, pretty serious drone pilot. He was talking about the Mavic 3 Cine, and I just think it is overkill. I don't think he was even saying the ProRes footage wasn't that much better than the H.265, for example. So I think I messed up. I wouldn't have gotten the Cine. You're better off if you are getting a Mavic 3 to go with the Fly More combo and call it a day. And I know they're offering, I believe, the Fly More combo with the RC Pro for those who are interested in the smart controller or the new smart controller. So I would stay away from the Cine. I don't think really anyone has a need for the Cine truly, because it's just not, look what happened. I mean, I had my drone, whatever you want to say, it flew away, it crashed, it flew away and crashed, I crashed. It doesn't matter. The bottom line is the drone wouldn't power on. If it went into the water, it wouldn't power on. You're basically going to lose your footage, and that's really not pro at all. So I would just, if you are in the Mavic 3 area, get the Fly More combo, call it a day. $3,000, not too big of a hit. Definitely way better than staying in the $5,000-$6,000 range for that drone. But to me, more Autel, more meta. So I'm happy that I have Autel in my life, honestly. I mean, it's just a nicer thing. I feel more confidently having this, even though it's maybe not like the newest, latest, greatest drone, supposedly. But, it's cool that it's established. I know that I can fly it and make money right away. And if I do need some of the accessories, they're there. Probably won't be touching them that often. One of the other things, so Autel Care, just so you guys are familiar, who may not be familiar with Autel, similar to DJI with their refresh program. What's shaking on the back? Wait, hold on a second. Gotta see. I got my iPad over here. Yeah, I mean, definitely a lot of people are crashing the Mavic 3s, so there's that. I have no idea. I know what happened with me, kind of. I mean, as far as what I experienced, everyone's going to say what they want about that, but I was the only one flying, and I was the only one knowing that the thing stopped responding on me, and then basically crashed into a building, regardless of whoever crashed into it. I had the controller in my hand, but I wasn't on the sticks. But anyway, regardless of that, back to the refresh. I have refresh on my Mavic 3 Cine, and I have the 2-year plan, which is great. It gives me 3 refreshes, and again, thankfully DJI is not going to ping me on that. But with Autel Care, they only offer a 1-year program, so you can't get 2 years Autel Care on these drones yet. And on the Enterprise, which I just found out, they don't even offer Autel Care on the Enterprise. So you have to go and get your own insurance for hull coverage for the Enterprise model. So as of now, Autel does not offer, once again, on their Enterprise drones, boop, get you guys turned around, they do not offer Autel Care. So kind of shit out of luck, but whatever. You can go. I actually called my agent. I called Skywatch as well. If you do have Skywatch for your liability, you can add a $2,500 drone, I believe, for like $30 add-on. So that's not bad. If you do have a Skywatch account or plan, it's not too big of a deal to add $2-3 grand onto it for extra hull coverage in case something happens. So that's one option. Another option is going through your agent like State Farm. I called State Farm, and they basically can cover this drone for, say, $2,500. I don't think it should be more than that, for, what was it, $10 a month? Or no, it's like, I think it's $60 a year. So for $60 a year with State Farm, they'll cover $2,500 on this drone for an entire year if something happens. So obviously you don't want to be crashing every other week. They may start to question what's going on, but there are alternatives to Autel Care not being available for this drone. And I used Autel Care once, and it actually worked really well. I mean, I had an incident where I crashed on a job, and here, let me get this guy back down. And see, nice gimbal cover, not this thing. So hold on. Let me, okay, get this guy over here then. I haven't seen this in a while. Oh no. Oh no, what is this? This is the muzzle. So this thing is like the remnants of what I have left of that drone. So you have this little guy, which is Mavic 3, and then you have a normal Oop, it just fell on the floor. But who cares? There we go. Garbage. But then you have this guy, nice little simple gimbal cover. Boom, done. Nice, clean, clear. You can still see your camera too. I don't know why DJI didn't do something to make it clear so you could actually see your quote-unquote Hasselblad new fancy camera, but they put that dumb muzzle on it. But anyway, without going too much about them, this is the Enterprise Evo 2 Pro 6K. 27 something, again, added Vexture. They were kind enough to break up the bundle, which they can do for you if you so want that to be the case. So if you're not needing a smart controller because you're not doing mapping or search and rescue or something that may require a larger dedicated controller, which I personally don't need or want, you can go ahead and opt and they'll customize it for this. I think it came out to around 27 something, so just shy of $2,800. And I get what I wanted. I got a cool new little carbon fiber arm drone, kind of a step up from this guy, appearance wise and quality wise, and that's it. It's the same body. I mean, it really isn't much different, but this won't fit, for example, in my case that I have for the Evo 2 Pro 6K non-enterprise. So it is a little bit different with the legs. Let me see if I can open this guy up. Hold on and see. Boom, boom. Yeah, they're definitely, you could kind of see, I don't know if you can see, but these carbon arms look, they're just a little bit longer. So apparently what Autel was saying is that it makes it a little bit more efficient in the air. And again, even the Mavic 3, you see how thin those arms are, and it does fly really well, but they said it shouldn't really fly any differently than the standard Evo 2 Pro. So if you're not needing to get this and you don't need carbon fiber legs or arms or whatever, you don't need that. And if you're not going to utilize the accessories, then save your money and just get an Evo 2 Pro on-the-go bundle or something for $2,095. And you can actually choose version 1 or version 2. Version 2, of course, is the newer model and the newer drone chipset. So I'd probably opt for that unless you, for some reason, want version 1, but that's your call. And let me see. Let me take the battery out of this. Hold on. That's for this. It feels similar weight. I don't know. I mean, which one would you choose? If you had the choice, look-wise, they both look good, but carbon fiber, I raced motorcycles for years, so I love carbon fiber stuff. It always has been part of motorcycle fairings and parts and all kinds of stuff. Even when I raced my Ducatis back in the day, I had carbon fiber mag wheels, which were like crazy expensive, but super badass. So I dig carbon fiber. It's kind of a cool little thing. And that's that. Again, you know, there's no newness to that, which is kind of nice because I don't want to learn a whole new drone. I just want another cool drone that will be a backup and something I can use that's a little bit newer and cooler. So there's that. And if I get a little bit more flight time out of it, so be it too. That's awesome. I got a built-in strobe. Boom. Super cool. I'll charge everything tonight. Or probably won't. I may just keep these batteries not charged and keep them as like backups. I don't even know what the best thing is. I'm not good with the battery maintenance. So again, here's that. If you want to see the piece a little closer, that's what it looks like. But really clean, really nice. Just a little piece to cover the pins. That goes right over it, like that. And then that goes back in the case. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna put this guy back in its little nice area. What else is in here? Charger. Let's see. Cables. There should be a car charger, I thought. So part for the car charger. There's this little quick start guide, which I'll read later for the Enterprise. So that. You got this charger. So I thought there should be a hub in here. I gotta check because I do know there was something, someone was posting that B&H or someone carried it with the hub and they didn't. Which new drones? I think the Nano and the Light, I talked to them today about it briefly, and they basically said that they have no real specifics, but I would imagine it can't be past January. I mean, I don't know if it's gonna happen this month, but the way I'm gauging, I bet you sometime January we'll have them. I pre-ordered the Nano Plus. I really want to get that drone. Nano Plus is going to be cool. I don't know if I'm going to keep my Cine, so we'll see. The Cine is going to be, you know, it's a lot of money if I free that up, because, you know, if I keep, this drone is definitely going to stay for now because it's the money maker, good luck thing. This guy I just got, so this is also a moneymaker kind of backup drone to the Evo 2 standard. The Cine I haven't had enough time with, other than, you know, my fun incident into a building. I'm still waiting on them. They say they're working on extracting my footage, and it's been taking forever. And I basically told them I'm kind of annoyed with it. I'd rather just get a refund, but if they're not going to give me a refund, I got to wait for them to get the drone back. So I can't even really gauge much about my Cine or my Mavic 3 feelings, because I know they came out with a firmware update for it, but I don't have the experience of that firmware update. I don't really care about master shots. I'm never going to use them. Same thing with, you know, whatever else they came out with. What was it? What was the update for the Mavic 3? I know it was master shots. It was some kind of tracking mode, but supposedly stability. I don't know, little Urkels, it varies. Some months are good. I try to, ideally, $5,000 a month would be a good average for a goal. Some months are more, some months are a little less. I had a couple good jobs recently, so I'm wrapping up like a $10,000, $12,000 job right now that keeps on kind of growing. I finished all the shooting, now I'm just working on the editing. I gotta meet with the client sometime this week. I'm trying to get paid because that's basically, you know, they owe me like $7,000. So ideally I can finish these edits. They're all basically wrapped and polished for the most part, but they want some call outs and some title and logos and stuff on it, and they just keep on going with it. So, you know, I may have to also add on if they start doing more of an editing kind of push, because I only budgeted in a certain amount for editing. So normally I didn't have a contract hard lined with this thing or hard copied. We just kind of went, I knew the guy, and we just kind of jumped into it because weather was really pressing. So we agreed on a price, and it seemed fair. You know, when you agree for like 10 grand, that's not that bad. So you're content, but at the same time, you really do need to cross your T's and dot your I's, because when you start diving deep and you run into maybe issues where you're flying or there's airspace that's restricted and you got to get clearance, and it just starts building and building with things that you have to kind of spend energy on. Then again, editing, that can be a whole thing when they start, you know, giving you critiques and telling you they want call outs and that they want this and they want that. And then it's like a whole new editing process. And when you have 9 edits you're working on, that adds up. I'm a one-man show. I mean, sometimes I'll outsource some of my editing, but I'm usually doing everything. So yeah, I mean, it's complete time. So ideally, you know, start doing this full time. I got to work on my website for my drone work and get a new dedicated site for that. And that's kind of something I'm going to work on over the winter. I got some web designing friends out in Peru that aren't super crazy expensive that will hopefully start branding me, you know, a little bit and creating a cool logo. But I think it's going to be A-Tort aerials just based on my A-Tort photography thing. And then I just got to come up with a cool little branding logo, and got to get something that will work with the channel too, and just try to, I wish I had some help. It's not easy to do it all on your own, but I got my friend making a cool background for my YouTube channel. He's a metal maker, and he's going to actually make this really cool big wall with a sculpture like carved out in metal of a drone. So that should be pretty awesome when it's done. He's going to hit that in January. So by January, I'll have some cool background to use for my YouTube channel. I'm going to try to step up a little game with, having everything in place and a little bit more of a consistency, but that's awesome. What's he focusing on art as far as his art? Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like the Mavic 3, when you get it, it looks cool, but I don't know. I mean, I just can't really tell you what's up, James? I can't really tell you how the Mavic 3 truly is. I mean, I really hope that they can find and recover the footage, because that day of flying before the crash happened, I got some freaking epic shots. And I mean, I got some really beautiful long sweeping shots and beautiful skies, and flew through some crazy zones, and I know that it would be a really, really good edit, but we'll see. If DJI can't extract it, I basically lose out on that footage, and I will never know, and I would have to fly again. But a lot of those zones, I really don't even want to fly with the city anymore. Kind of burnt out on flying in those really sketchy zones in Chicago, because they never seem to do well. So, carbon fiber, pretty slick. The back of the drone, there you go. I still have the plastic on the bottom because I'm just being OCD about it right now. There is no version 2 on this drone, which is another kind of confusing thing, because I know on the standard version, I believe they have a V2 somehow stamped on the top. So there is a real easy way of getting confused with all this. You got version 2s like the Enterprise that don't say version 2 on the body. It's just supposed to be a given that all the Enterprise are now version 2. You got controllers like this that are version 2 but don't have version 2 anywhere on it. So that makes no sense to me. Like, you'd think there would be a big version 2 somewhere on this thing, but nope. So they could do more to make it a little bit easier, because it is very easy to get confused with what is what. You grab the wrong controller in the wrong drone, for example, and you're on a job, guess what? You can't fly. So you got to make sure you have version 2 with version 2 drone, or you're kind of screwed. So I do have to call them and ask about, I'll ask him if he's interested in editing. Okay, yeah, as I said, I have a couple friends in Hawaii that I use sometimes to outsource, but I try to do as much as I can so I can control the consistency of everything, because it's hard to kind of throw stuff back and forth. Thankfully, I got a really strong internet connection with my fiber optic line, so it's easy to upload stuff because I got like a gig upload, but at the same time, on the other end, most people don't have that kind of speed, so there's always a bottleneck happening somewhere down the line. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, as I said, it'd be nice to clear 10 grand a month flying drones. That would be a good thing, If you can do that, pretty stoked, But just making money, man. You just gotta hustle. You gotta really put out content. I mean, I saw some people who, they may have nicer equipment and stuff, but then you see what they're putting out there and they just can't really fly well. So my advice to anyone would be, practice your movements and practice flying well, because if you can't fly well and like there's a guy who I work with who's a high-end real estate guy, and it's kind of like working with a director, a producer, art director on a set. If they tell you they want a certain type of shot and you can't execute it and give them that movement, guess what? You're screwed. You're not going to work with them again either, because they're going to say you're not the pilot that they need, and they need someone who can actually execute the shot. So working with someone who pushes you also is a good way to improve yourself. Surround yourself with better pilots and better people. You know, try FPV stuff. Even the little drones that I have, that like I got this guy today or yesterday. So they sent me this. They were like, "Hey, we'll send you a drone." And I normally decline all these little goofy kind of drones, but I'm like, "Oh, screw it. I'll see what it's about. Just play." I just kind of distracted me. This thing was so hard to fly. I mean, it was like in Addy mode. It barely broke winds. I crashed into me once. I crashed into my tripod. I mean, it just, just a lot of, but all of that stuff where I'm going with that is practice. So flying a drone like this, that may be flying like it's in Addy mode and you're kind of having to counter it all the time. It is practice with just flying and getting into a situation with your other drones. So yeah, this is like, this little Holy Stone drone is like polar opposite to this drone. So which one do you want? Do you want the Holy Stone or do you want that one? Yeah, we know what you want. So that's it, guys. I'm kind of excited that I opened this myself. They do have a big spot in this case for the smart controller, which isn't there. Yeah, James, this thing was crazy. Like it literally started to fly away over the road on me. Like it was, I couldn't control it. It just, the winds were just taking it. It doesn't do well. Apparently I was reading too, like 4-mile-an-hour winds are actually a lot of work for this drone. So I'm gonna try to fly it inside and see how it does. But the image quality, unfortunately, that comes out of this thing is such doo-doo balls. It's really bad. So that's an unfortunate thing because the reality is if you get a shot with it or footage, it's like complete garbage. So, I can't lie and work with the company. That's just not going to give you a good quality. Like for anyone to buy this would be kind of ridiculous, unfortunately. Sorry guys, but just the way it is. No, I don't know. I mean, no, it's not a flyaway thing. It just doesn't have the power and the connect. It's a Wi-Fi connection to the drone, so it just wouldn't do well with anything. It just wouldn't break the winds. It's not worth it. It gives you a bad drone experience, actually. You're better off buying a mini SE or something like that for $300 at Costco. At least you're not going to have all these crashing kind of flyaway little incidences where you're going to get all freaked out and say, I don't want to fly a drone, it's too hard. But I'm going to sit with this thing and see if I want to keep it or swap it out for another one. But I'm kind of feeling like I want to keep it. Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty rad. And I mean, that little thing for the accessory, I'm hoping it doesn't pop off or anything. But probably what I would do, honestly, is just take this off. So that little guy plops right off really easily. And just keep this guy on at all times, I guess, right? And then that's just the way it looks all the time. I don't know, maybe you don't want to have that on, but to me that looks pretty rad. You got your little beacon. I don't know how you power the beacon on. I'm not going to get there yet because the battery, I think, is, there's 2 little bars, but I'm not going to power it on and activate and do all that yet because I'm still going to sit on it a second and decide. I'm pretty confident that I'm not going to return this one. If anything, what I'll do is keep this, wait for the Cine to come back, and sit with that and maybe fly it for, I don't know, 6 months or something, put it through its paces. If I crash it again, I crash it. I got 3 refreshes, and then I'll sell it for like $4,000. That way, at least I get $1,000 out of it. I mean, I kind of want to sell that, but if I was to sell it, I'd want like $5,000 out of it because it cost me $5,600, and a lot of people probably will say that's way too much, but I don't want to lose more than I already did with it. Maybe I would get rid of it for $4,800, or maybe what I'll do is just sell the smart controller for $1,000 or something, and that way I get $1,000 back in my bank account. It kind of balances some of it out, and then eventually what I can do is just $5 make you holler. You got it, James. $5. It's all yours. I kind of wish I can do a giveaway. Maybe I'll give this drone away. If anyone is interested who's new to the drone hobby, this is not necessarily a great drone, but it could be something that you would want to learn how to fly with a little bit, or maybe a good little gift. So if anyone could utilize this, let me know in the comments below. And maybe what I will do is gift this to you and ship it off your way, because I really have no reason to use this, honestly. So I'll have a giveaway on my channel, James, if you pay for it. I would love to do something. I don't know what I can give away. I was thinking about it today. This can be a first giveaway. I can give away a photo print. That would be kind of fun. I don't know. Let me know. I'm not getting paid anything from my YouTube channel, so. My email, if you want to write it down, is atort13@mac.com, at mac.com. So, atort13@mac.com. I don't know, would you guys keep this thing on? I gotta send it off to like Congo Republic. Yeah, I'm just thinking, I mean, you know, someone who may have a hard time right now during the holidays, this drone may be a really cool present for someone. Pay it forward to someone, you know? I mean, yeah, of course, it's not going to be an Autel Evo 2 Pro or a Mavic 3 Cine, but a lot of people don't need a Mavic 3 Cine. This is what is this rated for, kid-wise? So it says HD camera, hand gesture, voice control, all kind of sketch. Yeah, I don't know what they rated to, but I would imagine, you know, you don't want to be too young, but this could be a great drone to have with dad, son kind of experience with, or even father, daughter. So if anyone does have any interest or knows someone who could benefit from it, maybe I will just give this away. And I'm sure Holy Stone would not be opposed to that, because if I can't utilize it, I don't want it just sitting. It might as well pay it forward and give it to someone. But that's it. I just wanted to do a little unboxing first thought of this drone, and honestly, pretty fucking cool. Pardon my language. Sorry, James. Pretty frickin' cool. So, yeah, I mean, as I said, they say you can get almost 4 or 5 minutes more flight time out of this drone because of the efficiency. We'll see if that's true, but it's good to know. I mean, if that's the case, it's definitely going to be hanging with the Mavic 3 battery life, but the little accessories, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I think these little accessories are kind of badass. Yeah, I mean, I really want my Nano Plus. I don't know why, but I want that drone so badly. So here's this little guy. I mean, this could be a little bit nicer, maybe, this little cap. I know it's very simple, but it just kind of plops on. I wish that was maybe a little bit more snappy, or maybe like a little screw with like some kind of cool screws or something that's screwed into it. But I guess they figure just really simple. I'm sure people lose this or break this, but I mean, it's really pretty flimsy. It's like, what do you know, could put like a straw on that or something, I don't know. So that I'm not really a huge fan of, this little piece. Kind of cheapy feeling. I'm sure you need to get another one at some point. But is it a different color orange? No, it's the same color orange. Yeah, it's badass, man. I dig it. So Autel Evo 2 Pro Enterprise 6K for the win. And that's it for now, guys. Thank you for tuning in a little bit. I will do a video on this guy. Yeah, I mean, it's 360 on this guy, which is great. Let's open it up one more time. Oh, you bastard. Hold on. I think I gotta take this plastic off. I'm being too protective. I got bad OCD. Hold on a second. Come on. There we go. Okay, it's now de-virginized. Boom. Yeah, that's badass, man. That's super cool. I mean, something simple like the carbon arms really do make it look a lot nicer. I mean, when these stickers come off officially, and I know 100%, once these come off, that's my level of committing to this drone. So, all right, James, good night. We got to get your 107, continue with your Pilot Institute class. Everyone give James a little push to get his 107. He's out in Montana. He's a good friend of mine. He's a super amazing photographer. And we need to get him his 107 so he could start making some money and start flying some beautiful scenery out in Montana zone. Okay, you better be working on it, or else this guy's gonna come after you with a speaker, and I'm gonna hover it over your house and just start taunting you with the speaker. James, get your 107. Stop slacking. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, if anyone is on the fence with the Autel, get a Nano or a Nano Plus when they come out. I'm telling you, that will be a cool little, even for $1,000, I guarantee you're gonna love them. I don't know, they're coming out with their new Sky app, which is different than their Autel Explorer app, so I'm not sure how well that app is designed or laid out. But here, hold on a second, I got crap everywhere. Okay, it's crazy. This is my kitchen table or one of them. I have 3 drones on this table, got a drone on the table over there, and then I got my office area with stuff all over. I got my Inspire 2 back that I haven't even flown yet because the weather's been really bad. I have to do a firmware update on the Inspire 2, which is crazy because they finally came out with a firmware update that apparently addressed this roll issue that I was experiencing with mine. DJI swapped out my Inspire 2 with a brand new Inspire 2. So I have a brand new Inspire 2 in the case. I haven't even touched because the weather's been lousy and I've been busy. So I have that to update. I have this to get ready and update. I got to get FAA stickers for this. I got to get FAA stickers for the Inspire. It's a lot of work. Firehouse has been nice enough, and actually they're sending me a bunch of these lights, these strobes, and I will give 1 or 2 of those away to you guys, so stay tuned. But when I received those, he sent them out I think a couple days ago. Really nice guy, and it was really interesting talking to him. I learned a lot, and he told me a lot about what he uses his lights for and how he kind of got into it. But these lights are super badass and come in 3 different modes. This one is an amber. If you long press it, it will turn on. You'll get this strobe, and you got the white one is so bright. You got 3 different modes. If you depress it, short press, solid, strobe. I mean, the white one is so blinding, and then you hold it for 3 seconds to turn it off. But this thing, as I said, is ready for war in my opinion. It's such a badass little drone. But the Firehouse strobes, you can get any color strobe, so you guys are aware. As I said, this one is amber, but you can get it in white, red. Some people get, like, there's a white and red where they flash simultaneously. Maybe the Firehouse department or whatever get that because that's their colors. But what I would suggest is getting the white for most visibility. Wait, hold on a second. What I would suggest is getting white for the most visibility, and look on their site. I think it's firehouse-technologies.com, and you'll see a lot about what they offer. So they offer stuff for like my Inspire, where you can mount the strobes on the arms. I mean, having these things visible is super important, especially if you're in a city zone or something, because you can lose sight of them so easily. And that's a big part of having issues when you're flying at night. So Firehouse strobes for the win. I'll put a link in the description on this video for you guys, but I will give a couple things away. If anyone has anyone that they know that may be able to benefit from this little HS260 Holy Stone, this will be a cool little gift. I did crash it a couple little times into my leg and into my tripod, but it's fine, still works. Comes with a couple batteries, pretty much brand new. I doubt I would need to keep it because, again, it's not going to really benefit me. It's just kind of more of a toy. So, with that being said, I appreciate you guys. And I will let you know when I get my Cine back. I've been still hearing back from them. DJI basically messages me every night saying a little bit of an update, but they have the drone. They're not going to ping me. They're not taking away one of my refreshes, so I'll still have 3 refreshes left when this is all said and done. Pardon me, that's kind of cool. And that's it. I just hopefully they can extract the footage and get that back my way, and we'll see. I mean, I don't think they're gonna, I did talk to them about possibly just giving me a refund for all the headache that this has been. I don't really want to have this continue for another 3 weeks, for example. If they can't get me the drone in somewhat of an efficient time, basically F off. So this one is not thermal. I definitely wouldn't mind getting a thermal camera one day. I think that would be very cool, but I don't know a lot about thermal work. I think search and rescue work would be something that I would probably want to segue into at one point, because for me, that seems really awesome. Even as I said, the guy who is the owner of Firehouse Technologies, who makes these strobes, he was explaining to me and talking to me about how he flies an FPV, DJI drone, and his Mini 2 equipped with all these strobes, and he flies into these houses with the police and with the SWAT teams and basically searches the house with the drone. So FPV drone flies up the stairs, searches all the rooms. Like, how badass is that? That's pretty wild. I never even knew that was a thing, honestly. So to have an FPV DJI drone equipped with all these lights, cruising and seeing if there's anyone in the rooms for the SWAT teams to safely enter and do their job, pretty awesome. So a lot of cool things that happen with drones. There's so many positive parts. You know, you hear negativity about a drone crashing or something, but there's a lot of positive coming with these drones. I mean, look at right now in Kentucky, they had catastrophic tornadoes happen. I'm sure people are out there with thermal cameras, searching for people, searching for lost animals, doing insurance, assessment damage. I mean, there's all kinds of positive things that help out in disaster kind of situations like that. So, fuck, I love drones. Should that be my tagline? F, I love drones. Even this little guy, as much as it was kind of a joke, this was even kind of, well, not so fun, but don't tell anyone. But it was fun. I'll fly it inside and do a little video on it flying inside and see how it does. But image quality was not good on that little guy. But that's it, guys. Good night for now. Have a good evening, and I am going to unpack some of this stuff and get it out of my kitchen so I don't look like a total freaking drone dork. but yeah, that box is nice, right? Box is legit. Boom. You know, it just looks better. Like, you get the whole Mavic 3, and it's just not the same. I don't know. It just doesn't have like a workhorse kind of thing. It's more of a hipster kind of thing, which is, you know, like, fine, but it's not really what you want when you're flying drones. You want, like, I don't know. The Mavic 3 is a badass little drone. I have to give it to them. It does fly well, but it also flies well into a building, and a lot of people seem to be crashing them. So we shall see what the firmware update does, and when I get that drone back in my hands, I'm going to fly it a lot more conservatively and just try to get some epic footage in safe spots that I know how to fly and don't have interference, and I can just do my thing and collect night footage safely, and hopefully they get my footage back and I can put together a rockstar edit for you guys, but we'll see. And that's it for now, guys. Take care. Have a good night. Thank you for tuning in, and aloha.